hold up. Stop up. I stopped the recording, started it back up. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm working too many outlets at a particular time. But let me see. Hold up. Let me see if I can bring me just a little bit of mood music to really set this. Hold up. Where we go? Where my music at? I need some music to set that up. Hold up. Here we go. Hold up. This ooh, perfect. Perfect. I'm gonna say we go through this right here. A nice for force energy. Yeah. This is good morning, gorgeous. Yay. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell myself it ain't healthy. Second guessing it don't help me. I'm so tired of feeling guilty. By my eyes, it's time to fight. Seems like I'm always against me. Seems like this is never ending. I refuse to let it hit me. All right now. I need my peace. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I like this song. It's a powerful song in the morning. Good morning, gorgeous. Sometimes you gotta look in the mirror and say, good morning, gorgeous. So we gonna hold that vibration. I know I let that play just a little bit longer than it needed to, but I just needed to get into that vibration of that, right? Because this song right here is one of those songs that really will help in elevating and boosting into, you know, that frequency. This is how I kind of dial in. I let music be my magic, right? On so many levels. And so with that, I'll put on something like that. And then I'll work with this particular mantra right here. Because Taurian energy, it can lean towards that overindulgence, right? It can also be in the zone, you know, because it's comfort, right? So you get into comfort eating and shit like that. And that can trigger like you feeling like all drained down, feeling like you got poor health and everything. But this right here is a boosting mantra that's going to really support your wellness, right? And this can be used at any particular point in time, but it's mostly effective when the sun is positioned in Taurus. So let me put you down with this real quick. Hold up. Let me, where's the note on that? All right. So all you're going to need a mirror and you're going to need a ripe apple. Now, preferably, it ain't got to be, but preferably green, because green is that color that's associated with Taurus energy, right? So the steps that we're going to make, we're going to do this in the morning, get that groove going. Good morning, gorgeous, right? Before we start our day, we're going to take a moment to look into the mirror. You're going to look at yourself in the eye and smile. Even if you don't feel like it, just fake a smile, because research shows that it tricks you into feeling better. Know that. Then say out loud the following mantra. I want to be the healthiest and most beautiful version of myself today. And then you put that green apple in your bag before you set off for the day ahead, and make sure that you carrying that with you, right? Now, if you work at home or something like that, you can take that up, place it on your desk or wherever your work area is, so that it's, you know what I'm saying, within range for you to have access to it, right? But whenever you feel like you're tempted to take a taste of something that's unhealthy, just a little smidgen, just a little taste, just a little sample, a little something for comfort and everything, you're going to take that apple out of your bag. And if you ain't feeling like eating that apple that's in your bag, then you ain't really hungry, fam. You ain't really hungry. So now, this is going to be, I'm telling you, this works. It works, okay? Now, if you compare yourself negatively to other folks out here in these streets, then you're going to have to remind yourself about the commitment you made, not to be perfect, but to be the healthiest version of yourself. And that's what this is all about, right? This is all about really tapping in and tuning in and being the greatest version of ourselves. We ain't got time to be worrying about what in the hell somebody else is doing. We got to really be in that space of valuing ourselves. So I'm about to close us out and everything, but I got a quick message from the Archangel Raziel, who wants to step through and remind us about taking our power back, right? See, you got to use your God-given power and intention to manifest these blessings within your life. We do that by valuing ourselves and getting rid of those things that we don't want within our life, okay? See, where the issue, where we need to look at is we letting the past hold us back, see? And sometimes we get into these spaces where we remember old things, old situations, right, that didn't really work out. And we allow ourselves to stay immersed in the energy about that. But I need you to understand, fam, that life doesn't always introduce you to the people that you want to meet, right? We thinking in this journey of life, we just go link up with all of the folks, we in the right vibration, and all of the right folks is going to attract. And typically that is how that works. But sometimes life puts you in touch with the people that you need to meet, right? These is the folks that's going to help you, right? Sometimes they'll hurt you, sometimes they'll leave you, but a lot of times they will love you. And this is all because it's going to help to strengthen you so that you can be the person that you came here to be. Because you ain't got time for this foolishness. Prosperity is lying ahead. We forget so much about who we are. We desire to be wanted that we forget the importance of being valued and appreciated. But we ain't got time for that, because prosperity lies ahead with this new moon giving us this confirmation that's in Taurus. But the first thing that we want to do is make sure that we healing on that journey. The very first step we want to do is make sure that we have the courage to get rid of those things that we don't want so that we can move forward, right? Because if we go start this new cycle, one thing we got to do is close out the old. So having the courage to get get rid of the things that you don't want, this is going to really help you boost you up and free up that energy so that you'll have the courage to start moving in the directions that you don't want. And see, this is when you start moving differently. You start being healed. It's a time for healing, right? And then you're going to start finding those folks that's going to pull the magic up out of you and not the folks that's bringing the madness up out of you, right? Because you the new healed version of yourself, right? And what we also know too is sometimes out here in these cosmic streets, we get so used to doing things a certain way, a certain neighborhood, a certain area, a certain type of people, right? But see, when we move into these healed spaces, we start to realize that sometimes what we need looks different than what we're used to. So when we're moving in the direction that's really propelling us towards those things that we desire, we're going to have to step outside of our comfort zone. So if you ain't got nothing else up out of this whole information, especially the Archangel Raziel is coming through, reminding you to take your power back. Again, my love. Number one, you got to know your worth at the end of the day. You got to value you. And then the second thing that you got to do is that you got to be in command of your emotional state. You can't let everything rob you of your joy, of your energy, of your vitality. You got to understand that rejection is protection. And then when you have that understanding, number three, third and foremost, never settle for the foolishness. Never settle for the fuckery. Never settle at the end of the day, because you done caught the lessons that you needed to at the end of the day, right? And so now you ain't gonna sit back and you ain't letting things steal your joy, trigger you, and turn you into somebody you ain't want to be at, because you ain't settling for that ever, ever again, right? But sometimes we got to step outside of that comfort zone. We got to reach out to folks that may not look like us, that may not roll like us, that may not live the same way that we do. We might have to go to situations and places that's unfamiliar for us. And that's okay. Because the Archangel Raziel comes through letting you know you got to take your power back. And this is your God-given power, your intention to manifest these blessings in your life in this new moon. And also be aware that we just got this retrograde that's in Pluto. That's the area of transformation. So be aware that the lesson, it might show itself up again just to make sure that you still ain't stuck on stupid. But you got to make sure that you take your power back. You got to value you, right? Get rid of what you don't want and have the courage to move forward to get those things that you do. So I hope that this was a blessing for you out here. Definitely use that Apple mantra thing. I'm telling you, that shit works. It really helps you to rewire. Mantra is the mind wave, and this will absolutely help you in redirecting and refocusing the direction of your mind. So definitely do that. Happy Taurus season, everybody. Peace and light and peace and love. All right, let me try and get in here and close out everything. Out. And